Welcome. Now I'm going to show you how to do a black and yellow smoky eye inspired by Marc Jacobs Runway. This is Kathelyne. She'll be helping me out today. And my name's Katie James. I'm a makeup artist in New York City. So for this look, we're doing a really intense black eye. So we're going to start out with our eyeliner. So the completed look's going to be really, really smoky. So you don't have to worry too much about the initial line. You just want to get a good base and make sure that it's a nice ring of black all around the eye and on the inside too. So I'm going to start right on the lash line here. It is important that you make sure there isn't any gap between the lash line and the black. So that's what we're kind of making sure doesn't happen here in the initial stage. It doesn't have to be too perfect. You just really want to make sure it's right in on the lash line. And this is the MAC Smolder. It's a black kohl pencil, so it's going to smudge really nicely. And then I'm going to go on the inner rim of the eye. And just making sure we get it really nice and black all the way around. So I'm just going to smudge it out. I'm using a very tight shadow brush for that. I'm going to start at the bottom. And we want kind of a triangle shape coming outward. So again, the real shaping is going to come when you're using the shadow too. So this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect either. We want that nice base to follow though with the liner. And then we can pull it a little bit downward too for that little bit of an inward cat eye. And that gives a nice sharp kind of feel to it. We just want to smooth out that line that we made. And you can pull it out a little bit too. So this is our base for the shadow. Again, everything's kind of rough right now, so then we're going to go in and smooth it over with the shadow. So now we're taking our kind of smaller shadow brush and we're taking some black eyeshadow and going up into the crease and right below the brow bone. So I'm tapping, and that gives a nice control, and it also builds the color. So we don't need it to be crazy black all at once, so we just want to do layers. And everybody's crease is in a different place, so if yours isn't as high up as ours, you can bring the black up a little bit further. And then you have a lot more control over how soft you want that line to be. And people think with looks like this, because you're wearing a lot of makeup, you can kind of just throw it on, but it's really a layering process to get it to look clean and sharp. I'm going to bring a little shadow on the bottom as well. This you really want to make sure you've tapped it off because it can really easily fall underneath the eye. And although it is a dramatic black, we don't want crazy raccoon eyes underneath. So basically what I'm doing is just pulling out that kind of triangle line here on the bottom. And you can use the brush because it's a softer brush to kind of just soften the edges around it. So that's our black. Now we're going to go in around the brow bone and do the yellow. So I'm going to pick a shimmery yellow shade so it's going to blend a little bit, and it has a little bit of gold in it. And you kind of want this airbrush feel to it. We're starting right below the brow and then just painting that on. And what we want is to kind of have a seamless transition between the black and the yellow. So I'm just going to go in and intensify the eyebrows. For such a strong eye, you need a good frame for it. So we're going to go in with a little bit of the brown shadow. Just sharpening the brows up a little bit so you have that nice angle. Nice frame for the shadows. Very 80s inspired brows. So now we're going to go in with some mascara. We need that nice pop to the lashes. So we're starting right at the roots, bringing out the lashes. Just gives that nice definition. And then we go all the way in on the bottom as well. We're just going to do a little bit of concealer right underneath the eye, and then it'll just clean up the black underneath. And you're just defining that line that you made before. Concealer is always good for cleanup. If you didn't smudge it the way you wanted to, you can correct it. It's a good tool. So now we're going to do a little bit of blush. For this look, it's very angular, so we're going to take a kind of plum tone blush and then kind of just define the cheekbones with it. So I'm using a NARS blush. This one's called Desire. Francois NARS actually developed this look, so it's kind of an homage to him. We're going to do a nice defined blush right there. So we want a really, really matte look for this as well, so I'm going to do a little bit of powder kind of on the T-zone all around under the eyes. We just want it to look really, really matte. And along the cheekbones, under the eyes. This gives it that really matte effect. Just want to hit certain spots. If you go all over, it might smudge what you've done, so it's just easier to use a smaller brush for this. So our final touch is the lips. For this, we have a really, really white out look. I'm actually going to use concealer as lipsticks. This is the concealer I'm going to use on our lips. It's a little bit darker than her skin tone, just so you can see the color. So tapping that onto her lip, and then you just use your finger to smooth that down. It's a really stark, dramatic kind of look, but a lot of makeup artists use concealer when they want that really, really nude lip look. So here's our completed Marc Jacobs Runway inspired yellow and black eye. I'll just give a quick recap. So we started out by kind of making our base with our eyeliner. So we went all the way around and on the inner rim of the eye with the kind of rough base, and then we smudged it out to the shape that we wanted. And then we followed that with a black shadow, kind of layering it so that we don't get too much fallout underneath the eye. Then we went in with a dry gold shadow and just blended it together. A couple of coats of mascara. Then we really emphasized the brows so that it gave that nice frame. We contoured the cheeks with a nice plum colored blush, and then did a little concealer on the lips. So that's our completed Marc Jacobs inspired eye. I hope you had a great time. This is Caitlin. I'd like to thank her for joining us today. And my name's Katie. I am a makeup artist in New York City. You can view more of my work at CHIC.TV. Thanks so much for joining us.